Wake up, 12s. The ground is shifting in Seattle, and frankly, you need to be paying attention right now because the very soul of this franchise is being tested. We are talking about a massive shakeup in the coaching staff that could derail everything. A quarterback suddenly playing like an MVP candidate looking for immortality, and a war chest of money that could turn this team into a juggernaut or a bust. The decisions made in the next few weeks will define the Seahawks for the next 5 years. This is not a drill. Before we dive into the madness, I need you to step up. We are pushing hard for 1,000 subscribers. Join the family, hit that button, and let's get to work.
Let's get straight to the business at hand, because the situation in Seattle's war room is far more volatile than people realize. Sources confirm that following the departure of offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak to the Las Vegas Raiders, the Seahawks are scrambling to fill a massive void in their play-calling structure. Kubiak's exit was not something the front office took lightly. He was the architect behind an offense that finally found its rhythm. Now, the word coming out of the VMAC is that the organization is leaning heavily toward an internal promotion. They believe that maintaining the current terminology and system is the safest route to ensure the offense doesn't regress in the upcoming season. They want stability. They want continuity. They want to make sure the quarterback room isn't forced to learn a completely new language for the second time in 2 years. That is the logical, executive approach we expect from a team trying to protect its assets. But let me pause right there and tell you why this makes me absolutely nervous. Are we looking for safety or are we looking for greatness? This is the National Football League. You do not win Super Bowls by playing it safe and hoping for stability. You win by being aggressive, by innovating, and by hiring the absolute best mind available on the market. When you lose a coordinator like Kubiak to the Raiders, that is a blow to the jaw. If you simply promote the next guy up just because he knows the playbook, you are risking complacency. We have seen this movie before in the NFL. A team loses a bright offensive mind, promotes the assistant, and the offense completely stalls because the new guy doesn't have the instinct or the creativity of the predecessor. I need to see fire from this decision. If they go internal, that individual better be a secret genius waiting to be unleashed. Because if the Seahawks come out next season and the offense looks flat, if the play calling becomes predictable, the fans are going to look back at this moment as the turning point. Stability is overrated if it leads to mediocrity. We need dominance. We need an offense that strikes fear into the hearts of the NFC West. The San Francisco 49ers are not sleeping. The Los Angeles Rams are scheming. And Seattle is talking about internal stability? This is a critical juncture. The front office believes they have the personnel in the building to keep the machine running, but belief and execution are two very different things. The pressure on whoever takes this job, whether it is an internal promotion or a surprise external hire, will be suffocating. They are stepping into shoes that just walked out the door to run an entire show in Vegas. The standard has been set, and falling short is simply not an option for this franchise right now.
Listen, if you want the real truth about what is happening behind closed doors at the VMAC, and you want it before anyone else, you cannot just sit on the sidelines. Hit that subscribe button right now. Do not miss a single update on this team's future. If the coaching situation is the brain of this operation, then Sam Darnold has undeniably become its beating heart. We have to talk about what this man accomplished this past season, because it is nothing short of a cinematic resurgence. Sam Darnold didn't just play quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, he reinvented his entire narrative. Sources close to the player indicate that Darnold is entering this offseason with a level of confidence we have never seen from him in his professional career. He is no longer the kid seeing ghosts. He is a veteran who commanded the huddle and put up stellar numbers. The organization views him as the guy who can stabilize the franchise, and Darnold himself is reportedly looking at this next chapter as his opportunity to secure a legendary status. He believes, and the tape supports this, that he is ready to lead a team to a championship. But let me be very clear with you right now. One stellar season does not put a gold jacket in your closet. I love the redemption arc. I love the story. It is fantastic theater. But this is where the rubber meets the road. Sam Darnold has played well. Yes, he has surprised the critics, myself included. But now the expectations have shifted. He is no longer the underdog scraping for a roster spot. He is the man with a target on his back. Can he handle the weight of being the franchise savior? That is the question that keeps GMs awake at night. We are talking about a player who wants to consolidate a legendary career. Do you know how hard that is? Do you understand the consistency required to be legendary? This upcoming season is the ultimate litmus test. The Seahawks gave him the platform, and he delivered. Now he wants a title. He wants to be mentioned in the same breath as the greats who have worn that jersey. It is bold, it is audacious, and frankly, I respect the ambition. But ambition without execution is just a daydream. Darnold needs to come back this year and be even better. He needs to elevate the players around him. He needs to show that last year wasn't a fluke, but the new standard. The Seahawks are banking on this. They are betting their immediate future on the idea that Sam Darnold has finally arrived. If he regresses, this whole project crumbles. But if he ascends, if he takes that next step, we are looking at a team that can challenge anyone in the conference. The ball is in his court, and the world is watching to see if he truly has what it takes to be a legend, or if he's just another one-hit wonder in a league full of them.
Now, let's tie this all together with the fuel that drives the engine, the money. You can have the coaches, you can have the quarterback, but if you do not have the salary cap flexibility, you are dead in the water. And here is where the Seattle Seahawks are sitting in a position of immense power. Insider reports confirm that the Seahawks possess a privileged financial situation heading into this offseason. They have the cap space necessary to not only renew the contracts of two of their biggest stars, but also to go hunting in the free agent market for heavy hitters. This is not just about balancing the books, this is about aggression. The front office has cleared the decks to ensure they can retain their core identity while adding the necessary firepower to push for a Super Bowl. This is the moment where General Manager John Schneider needs to earn every single penny of his paycheck. You have the space, you have the resources, there are absolutely no excuses left. When you have the ability to lock down your cornerstone players, the guys who define your locker room culture, you do it immediately. You do not nickel and dime your stars when your window is open. But it goes beyond retention. With this cap space, Seattle has the chance to bring in mercenaries, the game changers who can fix the holes in the defense or add another weapon for Sam Darnold. This is a luxury that most teams in the NFL do not have. Most teams are cutting players, restructuring deals, and begging for relief. Seattle is walking into the dealership with a briefcase full of cash ready to buy the best model on the floor. But money is dangerous if you spend it wrong. We have seen teams win the offseason and lose the regular season. The strategy here has to be flawless. You renew the stars to keep the foundation solid, and then you use that extra cash to bring in the dogs. I want to see pass rushers. I want to see offensive linemen who can protect Darnold. The domino effect here is massive. If they use this money correctly, they support the new offensive coordinator, they give Darnold the tools he needs to be legendary, and they solidify the roster for a deep playoff run. If they get cheap or if they miss on these free agents, they waste a golden opportunity. The salary cap is a weapon, and Seattle needs to pull the trigger. This is the time to go all in. You do not save cap space for a rainy day. It is raining right now. The competition is fierce, and this financial advantage is the edge they need to separate themselves from the pack.
Everything is on the table. We have the quarterback looking for redemption, the money to build a fortress, and a coaching vacancy that could make or break the season. This is not just an offseason, this is a defining era for Seattle. I need to hear from you right now in the comments. With the cap space available, who is the one free agent we absolutely must sign to help Sam Darnold get that ring? Do not hold back. I read every single comment because this community drives the conversation. We are in this together, 12s. Stay loud, stay passionate, and I will see you next time.